The night the sky caught fire. March 24th, 1944. Just past midnight, 18,000 feet above the frozen forest near Schmallenberg, Germany. The 4 Merlin engines of Avro Lancaster B Mark II Werewolf roar in unison, a deep, vibrating thunder that rattles Flight Sergeant Nicholas Alcamade's teeth in the cramped rear turret. He's 21, tail gunner for 115 Squadron out of RAF Witchford, on the long haul back from Berlin. The raid went well, bombs away over the big city. But now the cold bites hard, seeping through his heated suit, fogging the perspex with every breath. You can almost taste the cordite lingering in the air, feel the ache in his shoulders from hours of vigilance. Alcamade sweeps the night with his 4 Browning .303s, eyes straining against the black. Pilot Flight Sergeant James Arthur Newman holds steady at the controls. Navigator Sergeant John Cleary plots the course home. Wireless operator Sergeant Jeffrey Burwell taps out signals. The rest of the 7-man crew, bomb aimer, flight engineer, mid-upper gunner, move in their practiced rhythm. They're a good team, this lot. 14 ops together. Superstition says the 15th is cursed, but no one mentions it. Then, a shadow. Fast, closing from astern. Corkscrew, bandit 6 o'clock high. Alcamade yells into the intercom, voice sharp over the engine drone. He squeezes the triggers. Tracers streak out, orange lines stitching the darkness. The Junkers Ju-88, piloted by the deadly Oberleutnant Heinz Rocker, dives in fearless. Cannon fire erupts, 20mm shells hammering the Lancaster's starboard wing and fuselage. Explosions rock the airframe. Fuel tanks ignite. Flames burst along the wing, hungry and bright against the night. Fire! Starboard inner! The engineer shouts. Newman banks hard, fighting the controls as the bomber shudders. Smoke floods the cabin, thick and choking. Alcamade's turret fills with heat. The perspex blisters. He keeps firing, bursts raking the Ju-88 as it loops for another attack. The German scores again. Shells tear through the tail, shattering the turret canopy. Wind screams in, icy and violent. Alcamade's oxygen mask melts against his face, rubber scorching his skin. Flames lick toward the rear fuselage now. Bail out! Bail out! Newman's voice cracks over the chaos. Crewmen clip on chutes, scramble for escapes. But Alcamade's parachute is stowed forward. No room in the turret for it worn. He kicks open the doors, crawls into the inferno. Heat sears his hands, his face. He reaches the stowage rack. The pack is there, engulfed in fire, silk burning, straps charred, useless. The Lancaster dives, uncontrollable. Metal groans. Alcamade has seconds. Burn alive or jump. He chooses the void, the fall that should have killed him. The wind hits like a freight train. Nicholas Alcamade is out in the void now, spinning wildly, the burning Lancaster shrinking to a fiery speck above him. No parachute, no hope, just the black rush of air, tearing at his flight suit, whipping his limbs like a rag doll. The cold is immediate and merciless. 18,000 feet of sub-zero night slamming into exposed skin. You can almost hear it, the deafening roar in his ears, louder than the Merlins ever were, as he plummets at over 120 miles an hour. He tumbles head over heels. Stars flash, then darkness, then stars again. There's no orientation, no control. His oxygen-starved brain races in fragments. The crew, did any of them get out? The flames he left behind, his mother's face. Then a strange acceptance washes over him. He stops flailing, spreads his arms and legs wide, like a skydiver he's never been. It steadies the spin a little, enough to see the ground rushing up. Below, the German countryside is a patchy quilt of shadow and faint moonlight on snow. Forests, dense pine forests east of the Ruhr. He's falling toward them, fast. 10,000 feet. 8. The air thickens, pressure building. Trees resolve into sharp, dark spears. He has seconds left. Alcamade points his feet downward, pulls his arms in tight, braces. The first impact is branches, young firs whipping his boots, snapping under his weight. Then more, thicker boughs clawing at his body, slowing him in violent jerks. Needles and twigs tear fabric, rake skin. He crashes through layer after layer, the trees bending, breaking, absorbing impossible energy. Alchemaid points his feet downward, pulls his arms in tight, braces. The first impact is branches, young firs whipping his boots, snapping under his weight. Then more, thicker boughs clawing at his body, slowing him in violent jerks. Needles and twigs tear fabric, rake skin. He crashes through layer after layer, the trees bending, breaking, absorbing impossible energy. Finally, he punches into the forest floor, a steep slope blanketed in deep winter snow, piled high by drifting winds. A muffled thump, then silence. He lies on his back in a shallow crater of churned earth and white powder. Snowflakes drift lazily through the hole he tore in the canopy overhead. His chest heaves. He's breathing. Slowly he tests his limbs. Fingers wiggle. Toes move. Ankles ache fiercely. Back bruised. Wrist sprained. Cuts and scrapes sting. But no breaks. No paralysis. No fatal injuries. Alchemaid sits up, dazed, staring at his own hands as if they belong to someone else. He laughs, a short, disbelieving sound that echoes through the silent trees. Alive, after 18,000 feet. Doctors will later calculate the odds. Less than 1 in a million. The combination of pine boughs acting like a giant spring, the deep snowdrift, his relaxed body at impact, it all conspired to cheat physics itself. But the miracle has only just begun. Dawn is still hours away. He's deep in Nazi-occupied territory, in uniform, with no food, no map, no weapon. And the Germans will come. They always do when a bomber falls. He stands on shaking legs, brushes snow from his torn flight jacket, and takes a step deeper into the woods. Would surrender be the smart move? Or is there still fight left in this man who justified death? The capture and the unbelieving enemy. They surround him quickly, these German civilians, woodsmen and farmers roused by the crash of the burning bomber. Rifles pointed, voices barking questions in guttural German. Nicholas Alchemaid stands still, hands raised high, snow dusting his shoulders like surrender itself. His flight suit is shredded, face scratched and soot-streaked, but his eyes are steady. You can sense the moment, the surreal shift from solitary miracle to sudden captivity. One cigarette still smolders, forgotten, at his feet. The men search him roughly. No weapons, no papers beyond his RAF identity discs. One of them, an older forester with a weathered face, notices Alchemaid's calm. No panic, no pleading, just a quiet, "I'm all right, chaps," in English when they prod him forward. They march him through the trees to a nearby village, boots crunching in unison. Dawn is beginning to pale the sky now, turning the forest silver gray. At the local police station in Mesquite, Alchemaid is handed over to the Luftwaffe. An interrogation officer, Hauptmann Mueller, arrives, sharp uniform, sharper eyes. The room is stark, wooden table, single bulb swinging overhead, the smell of damp stone and cigarette smoke. Mueller demands the standard, name, rank, serial number. Alchemaid gives it. Flight Sergeant Nicholas Stephen Alchemaid, 143-1267, Royal Air Force. Then comes the question, where is your parachute? Alchemaid looks straight at him. I didn't have one. Al silence. Then laughter from the German officers. Impossible. Ridiculous. They've seen hundreds of downed airmen, every one with a chute pack or harness burns. Mueller leans in. You expect us to believe you jumped from 18,000 feet without a parachute and lived? Alchemaid shrugs, wincing at the pull in his bruised back. Believe what you like. It's the truth. They press harder. Accusations fly. Spy, saboteur, special commando dropped without a chute for stealth. The penalty for spies is swift. Alchemaid stays calm, repeats the story. The burning turret, the charred pack, The choice between fire and fall. The pines, the snow. Frustrated, Mueller orders a search of the crash site. A team of soldiers and local police tramp back into the forest. They find the wreckage of the Lancaster scattered across a hillside. Twisted metal, still smoldering. 4 bodies among the debris. Newman, the pilot, Burwell, the wireless operator, and 2 others. No survivors but one. Then, deeper in the woods, they locate Alcimade's impact point, the crater in the snowdrift. The trail of broken branches leading straight up through the fir canopy, branches snapped in a perfect vertical line, thicker ones bent but not shattered. At the base of the trees, scraps of his uniform caught on twigs. And crucially, no parachute, no silk, no harness, nothing. The search party returns with photographs and samples. Mueller examines them in silence. The laughter is gone. He looks at Alcimade differently now, not as a liar, but as something inexplicable. Word spreads fast through the Luftwaffe chain. Even the camp commandant at Stalag Luft 6 wants to see this Englishman who fell from the sky. They move him to Dulag Luft for formal interrogation near Frankfurt, the transit camp where all captured Allied airmen pass through. There, senior intelligence officers repeat the questions. Medical examiners check his body. No major fractures, no spinal damage, just the bruises and sprains consistent with a heavy landing. They measure the height of the broken branches, calculate the distance, shake their heads. Alcimade is issued a certificate, an official German document stating that no parachute was used, that his story is verified, that his survival is a most remarkable occurrence. It's signed by the camp commandant himself. A propaganda gift? Perhaps, but also protection. The certificate ensures he's treated as a legitimate POW, not executed as a spy. The return to the sky. May 8th, 1945. Victory in Europe. The war ends not with a bang for Nicholas Alcimade, but with the slow grind of liberation. British forces reach Stalag Luft 3, yes, the camp of the Great Escape fame, where he has spent the final months after transfers from earlier camp. The gates swing open, guards vanish, Red Cross parcels flood in. Alcimade walks out a free man, thinner, quieter, but unbroken. He boards a train west, then a ship across the channel, England again. Home soil under his boots. North Walsham welcomes him with quiet streets and tearful family. Medals follow. The Distinguished Flying Medal for his earlier ops. Mentions in dispatches. Newspapers devour his story. The man who fell 18,000 feet and lived. Interviews, photos, handshakes from strangers. He smokes his pipe, tells the tale plainly, never embellishing. The German certificate verifying his parachuteless fall becomes a treasured artifact, shown to skeptics with a wry smile. Doctors examine him again and again. No lasting damage. The bruises faded long ago. They marvel, write papers. Alcimade just wants normalcy. But the RAF isn't done with him yet. Demobilization takes time. He's posted to instructional duties, then offered a chance many would refuse. Return to operational flying. Most survivors of a shootdown never climb aboard a bomber again. Some are grounded permanently by trauma. Not Alcimade. Within weeks of VE Day, he volunteers for Transport Command. More sorties, this time ferrying troops and supplies across Europe in converted Lancasters and other aircraft. He logs hours over the same skies where he once fell. Germany now ruined below, cities smoldering, forests still green. Each takeoff is deliberate, each landing a quiet victory. He completes those missions without incident. Duty done. Only then does he finally hang up his flight suit for good. Years later, when asked why he went back up, why risk the sky again after it had already spared him once, Alcimade gives a simple answer. I wasn't going to let it beat me. The man who fell from heaven and walked away didn't just survive the war, he finished his tour on his own terms. And in the annals of aviation and human endurance, Nicholas Alcimade's name endures as proof that sometimes, against every odd, the impossible becomes fact. If you like this video, please subscribe to the Witness Earth Network channel and share it with your friends. We'll see you again soon with another unique and true story from World War II.